Hello everyone, this is Indie TCG Direct. I'm your host Xyphien, and this is presented by TCG News. This is our yearly all-in-one showcase dedicated to the best independent card games that are active at the end of 25 and into 2026, paving way to what to watch out for in the upcoming year. Think of it like a classic Direct or E3 style presentation built entirely around Indie TCGs and high-quality tabletop projects. If you see something you like, every single game is in the description below, and you can review the full lineup at any time by going on to the awards page. Voting actually ends tonight, December 22nd at 11:59 p.m. EST, so if you haven't casted your vote yet, now's the time. If you're ever interested in seeing any other Indie TCG events, you can view them at IndieTCG.net/events, including future showcases, voting, moments, game tournaments, Indie TCG events, and so much more. And without further ado, let's go ahead and jump into the showcase.
Ignaris fans, I've got some big news. The wait is finally over, and 2025 is bringing some major updates to the game. Kickstarter, updated rules, a new spar system, a brand new expansion set, and more. Let's start with the biggest news. Ignaris TCG will officially be moving off the Game Crafter and onto the official Ignaris website. As some of you know, I recently moved and money's been really tight, but I've decided it's time to take Ignaris to the next level, printing and selling my own products and eventually going full-time as a TCG creator. Here's the plan. I'll be printing cards in bulk through a manufacturer, and since most of you are in the US, I'll be using a fulfillment center there to keep shipping costs down. That way, the game stays more affordable for you guys. Things could change as I go, but that's the direction I'm heading. It's going to take some work, but I've got full faith in this game, and in you guys, the community, for supporting it. And that's why I'm announcing an Ignaris TCG Kickstarter, featuring both Set 1 and a brand new expansion set. Since the original Game Crafter launch, a lot of you have helped me catch balancing issues and wording improvements, so Set 1 is being re-released with updated card effects, cleaner templates, and better wording, especially for multiplayer. On top of that, I'll be adding a whole new 50 card expansion set designed to fill in the gaps of Set 1 and make deck building a lot easier and smoother. Set 1 will now be rebranded as Ignaris Fierce Mutations with a fresh logo, and the expansion set name will be Echo Spawn, also with a new logo. The updated template will have small but important tweaks like bigger stat numbers and clear elements so it's easier to read during gameplay. Now let's talk gameplay. I've got something you can actually start testing out right now, a new board layout and a new way of playing Spar. Spar has always been a big part of the lore, but in gameplay it felt a little underused, so now there's a Spar pile system. Instead of charging Spar immediately when you draw it, you'll place it into your Spar pile. Then when you want to summon an entity, you can move Spar from the pile into your charge zone. It works the same as before. If your Spar level is high enough, you can summon any entity within that range, but now you have way more control over your Spar instead of being at the mercy of random card draws. And here's where it gets interesting. When one of your entities dies, you can actually pay its death cost with Spar from your Spar pile to re-summon it on the field. You'll send that Spar to the graveyard, but don't worry, cards like Conjure can bring it back. Of course, when your entity dies, you'll still nullify your charge Spar, but this new system adds layers of strategy on how you can manage your pile. I'm also brainstorming an overcharge or supercharge mechanic where you can attach Spar from your pile directly to entities for special boosts or effects. I haven't finalized what those boosts will be yet, so you can drop your suggestions in the comments. I'd love to hear your ideas. Next, we have some quick keyword changes to make Ignaris more unique and easier to learn. Rarities will now be common, prime, golden, and ancient. This clears up some confusion since rare wasn't really rare in the first place. It was more of an uncommon than anything. Attaching a symbiote to an entity is now called mutating. Fits perfectly with the theme of fierce mutations and makes gameplay feel cooler. Weakness symbols on entities will now be called seals. Your opponent has to break your seals with the right entity types to drop your HP to its weakened value. Nullifying your Spar is now called Drain. Shorter, cleaner, and easier to call out mid-match. The act of destroying an entity and sending it to the graveyard is now Slay, while attacking or destroying a life card is now called Shatter. Instead of saying, I'll kill your entity and attack your life card, you can now simply say, I'll slay Golemite and Shatter for turn. And finally, engaging your entity is now called Exert. It better reflects how your entity remains in an exhausted state after attacking, leaving it unable to defend your life cards. Disengaging is now called Resurge, as well as the refresh phase, which is now called the Resurge phase. Sounds cooler and less syllables. I'm also playing around with the idea of changing ability cards to another cool term, but if you guys have any other ideas for keywords that can be improved, be sure to leave your suggestions in the comments. If you want a sneak peek at what's coming, check out my Sketch to Monster live streams. Some of those designs are already being turned into cards for the new expansion. Huge things are happening for Ignaris this year. Stay tuned. Make sure you're subscribed and drop your thoughts in the comments, especially about the supercharge mechanic. Thank you all for your support. I'll see you in the next one.
What was the greatest soldier type of the Middle Ages? A question that countless have asked before, and now you will find your answer. Destroy your friends, family, and rivals in bloody one-on-one combat and obtain glory. Welcome to Warriors of Legend, the game that places you in the armor of a historical warrior. Catalan Almagover, Norse Berserker, German Landsknecht, Japanese Samurai.
How do you play Rift Runners, the VTuber card game? You and your opponent start with 100 hit points. You need to reduce your opponent's hit points to 0 before they do it to you. To do this, you use fighters. All fighters have an element and a class. Think Fire Warrior or Ice Mage. Most card effects and combos in this game pertain to a particular element or class, so you'll want to build a deck that focuses on at least one type. In addition to fighters, you have action, counter, and equip cards. These help your fighters with buffs, debuffs, and other special effects. Many fighters also have their own effects. There is one more type of card, Rift Monarchs. For every VTuber fighter, there is a Monarch version. These Monarchs serve as your partner, and they give you a unique permanent ability. They also determine how many spaces you have to work with on the game board. For our game, we'll use Rock Goddess Nyaru. Let's jump into the middle of a game to see how it works. At the start of your turn, you draw one card from the main deck and one from the fodder deck. Now, it's action phase. Once per turn, you can normal deploy a fighter from your hand to the field. We'll deploy Shooting Star Nyaru. You can also unify one fighter from the hand to a fighter you control of the same element or class. We'll unify our Tora card to Nyaru. Unifying Tora turns her into a Unity token, which gives Nyaru a boost to her attack and defense values. Also, during your action phase, you can use action and counter cards. You can activate action cards immediately or place counter cards which usually activate during your opponent's turn. We will place a counter card face down. Now it's the combat phase. Watch as our fighter attacks the opponent's fighter, Scholar of the Cosmos. Because their fighter is in defense position, we measure its defense value against our fighter's attack value. Our number is higher, and their fighter is destroyed. Now it's the opponent's turn. They use the action card Cyberline Recall to bring back a destroyed cosmic fighter from the Void Zone. This kind of effect is called a quick deployment, and players aren't limited to one per turn. Then, they will add Yoro's Tank Battalion as a Unity token to their fighter and rally deploy Ice Goddess Wyneria. What's a rally deployment, you ask? When you deploy a strong fighter, they need fighters on the field to use as a resource. Unity tokens also count as a resource. Watch as both of them are turned into rally tokens and placed under the fighter face down. Rally tokens can be used as ammunition for certain effects. In fact, they're about to show you. They will use their Monarch effect, which allows them to expend a rally token from a Tier 3 Ice fighter and destroy the counter card we had laid for them. Then, during their combat phase, they will attack and destroy our fighter. Since our fighter was in attack position, the difference between the two fighters' attack stat is taken out of our hit points. Fast forward to our turn. We will activate the card Crystal of Embers to quick deploy Nyaru, who was just destroyed in the last turn while also boosting her attack by 5. Then we will use her ability. She lets us use fighters in our Void Zone as resources to rally deploy Rock Goddess Nyaru from our hand. She will use her effect now. She expends a rally token and destroys Ice Goddess Wyneria, dealing 10 hit point damage. But that's not all. We are using Rock Goddess Nyaru's Monarch card as well, which gives us a unique ability. Rock Goddess Nyaru's powerful effect is no longer limited to being used once per turn. She will do the same again to both of the opponent's cards in the AC zone, dealing another 10 hit point damage for each. Rock Goddess Nyaru can't attack after using her ability, but Shooting Star Nyaru can. She will attack and bring the opponent's HP to 0. This is just a tiny preview of what you can do in Rift Runners. All the cards you saw in this video are from the starter decks Icy Alliance and Blazing Glory. You can order them right now or try them out on Tabletop Simulator. Set 3, Mystic Uprising, is coming soon. It will be available for pre-order via Kickstarter March 2025.
Welcome to the Echoes of Astra Trading Card Game Quick Start Guide. To start the game, randomly determine the first turn player with a coin or die. Both players draw 6 cards to start. Each player may mulligan by shuffling their hand back into the deck and then drawing a new hand of 6 cards. You can only do this once per game. Before starting the game, each player chooses 1 card in their hand to put face down into the supply area. When you play a supply in this manner, always draw a card to replace what you put down. Now let's start your first turn of the game. Turn all cards on your side upright to ready them. You won't have anything to ready on your first turn. Player 1 skips their first draw, otherwise they would draw a card here. During the main phase, you can extend supply, that is, playing a card face down into the supply area and drawing a card to replace it. You may only do this once per turn. Now we can play a card from our hand. Each card has a supply cost in the top left corner. Unit cards are the most common and enter your staging area exhausted. Tactic cards resolve their effects and then immediately go to the graveyard. There are also item and territory cards, but we'll focus on those later. Now let's fast forward to an example of combat. It's the start of your turn, so ready your cards and draw a card. A ready unit can attack one of the 3 combat zones in the middle of the game board. If a combat zone is empty, you can take control of it with a unit immediately. You may also retreat a ready unit from a combat zone you control by exhausting it and returning it to your staging area. If the attacker survives and the defender is destroyed, the attacker now controls the zone. If both survive, the attacker returns to its staging area. Please note that exhausted units cannot retaliate nor deal damage during combat. You can keep attacking as long as you have units that are ready. But not everything may go as planned. The defending player also has an opportunity to play a counter card after an attack has been declared. Each player may also respond to counters with a counter of their own. Resolve counters from last played to first played. At the end of your turn, you gain victory points, equal to the total influence of units and combat zones you control. A unit's influence is found on the bottom left of each unit card. At this point, if a player has 20 victory points, they win. Now let's look at some other card types. Equipment and territory cards provide ways to support your units passively. Equipment can modify unit stats and even give it special effects. Equipment cards are played directly onto units in your staging area. Equipment moves with a unit when it attacks and retreats. A unit can have any number of equipment on it at once, but if a unit is destroyed or leaves the battlefield, all equipped items go to the graveyard. Territory cards can be played straight into a combat zone of your choice. Territory card effects can greatly change the rules of engagement. You can also play territories face down at no cost. A territory played face down can be flipped up on a later turn by paying its supply cost. This can be done either as a counter or even during your own main phase. Each player can have 1 territory in each combat zone. If you play a second territory into a combat zone where you already have one, send the old one to the graveyard. That's all you need to begin playing Echoes of Astra. If you have more in-depth questions, you can consult the comprehensive rule set on our website, or you can join our Discord community. See you on the battlefield.
has claimed the galaxy. Who will you fight for? Meet the Warcast. Brilliant military leaders who will stop at nothing for victory. Join the battle with starter decks and play as the Rammus, the Psykers, the Carnage, or the Corinth. Gain more power with booster boxes. Each box contains 30 packs with 16 cards per pack. Each pack contains 1 Doctrine, 8 commons, 4 uncommons, 2 rare or epics, and 1 foil card, with a chance of a super rare shattered foil card in every 9 boxes. Claim victory today with starter decks and collect rare cards with booster boxes. Which of the Warcast will you fight for?
Kaiju Defenders, ready to crush the competition and claim victory? Then listen up, cause this is how you build your ultimate Kaiju Ketsugo deck. First, every Keigo deck is exactly 60 cards. No cheating, no shortcuts. Your jackpot? 7 jewel cards, one of each jewel type, the keys to winning your match. But wait, you can get sneaky with up to 3 kilojoules, replacing their matching jewel cards. What are jewels? They're the ultimate prize cards that'll tell you who's really winning. Now, your 53 game cards are where the battle comes alive. Here's how to formulate your secret sauce. You need at least 15 Origin Kaiju, because drawing a powerhouse in your opening hand should be a no-brainer. In fact, the math says you've got a whopping 92% chance to start strong. No Origin? Almost impossible. Now don't be greedy, but keep it sharp. No more than 3 copies of any one card. Environments need balance too. Only 2 environment cards max of any one jewel type, so you can't stack your deck too much in favor of any one jewel type. It's about teamwork. And each deck can have just 4 environment cards total, to keep the battlefield fair and fierce. So stack your deck with the right jewels, pack in those Origin Kaiju, and keep your environment cards tidy. Follow this, and you'll ascend over every challenger like the Anirian defender you are.
Do you delight in creeps and creatures? Are you a fan of the paranormal? Are you a collector of funny ghouls? I know I am!
Necromancers is a card stacking, creature crafting, monster fighting, battle royale deck builder. Playable with up to 4 people. Everything you'll need will be all in one box, featuring more than 80 spooky cards, guaranteed to bring a smile to your face or a shiver to your spine.
There are 3 components to raising the dead: meat, bone, and spirit.
And sometimes 2 at the same time.
Combine all 3 types and you've got yourself a creature ready to do your bidding. But we don't have to be done yet. Once you've got that full stack, you can add a special Manster card and give your creation a proper face. Yowza! If the creature on your slab is looking a little worse for wear, you can swap it out with a different one. But act quickly. With nothing on your slab, you're undefended, and might even get eliminated.
Betray your friends, take down your enemies, and may the best Necromancer win. Necromancers.
A monstrously good time.
Welcome to the Great Bug War. Now, choose a cosmic avatar to align yourself with. Will you follow Luna, the goddess of knowledge, who seeks tranquility and enlightenment? Or maybe Mars, the god of destruction, who craves power and domination? Or perhaps Sol, the goddess of life, who yearns for growth and harmony? These cosmic avatars have evolved the mindless creatures of this planet into intelligent and powerful devotees. Their loyal bugs now mine dust from the magical shards that caused their very transformation. This rivalry between Alliance and Avatar is not won by brute force, but rather by earning devotion from your followers. Put worker bugs into your hive to generate dust, and play other bugs onto your field to defend the front line. Equip them with weapons and armor, enchant your field with support cards, and control your enemy's board with action cards. Finally, choose to have your bugs praise their avatar, or lead them into battle.
And that was the last video. I hope you all enjoyed this year's Indie TCG Direct. It was actually our very first year doing it, and I'll be doing a lot of things differently next year, such as actually having them submit their own trailers instead of trying to find it myself. And that being said, if you're a TCG dev and you weren't happy with the trailer that I used for you, just keep in mind, next year you'll be able to submit it, and if you don't have a trailer, well, you have a year to get it made. Anyway, if you like this, make sure to like, comment, subscribe, and don't forget to vote in the awards. It ends tonight at 11:59 p.m.